Hello everyone, my name is Thrawn One Variant. I am a variant, as you can see. So let's talk about the Loki season as a whole. Flipping brilliant. Tom Hiddleston outdoes himself as Loki. Also, the direction the whole thing goes is so good. It is very meaty, if you see what I mean. It has a lot of meat to it, and it enjoys how it plays out. It doesn't play with your expectations like some shows can. Hang on, excuse me. Let's face it. With some shows you think, with WandaVision, everybody wants that to be 2 seasons. It's not going to be 2 seasons, and I'm actually happy about that compared to Loki, where I think it needs more. I was wondering whether they were going to do more, and they are, which I am very happy about. Let's face it, Loki is a really good show, and it's got the production design, and it's got the clever... It's basically the Marvel Doctor Who. Let's face it. But it's got more bite than Doctor Who. Doctor Who, especially the newer one, it's a bit kid-friendly. This one's got a bit of bite to it. He is charming, he is ruthless, though. He will pretty much kill people. Also, Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson knows what the hell he's doing. It's good to see him out of a comedy role, and I know there's something in the series where it's basically everyone wants to see him say one word and write one thing. If you're a fan of the series, you'll know, but I don't want to spoil it too much. Owen Wilson does really good in this show. I think this show might get him out of his comedy rut, which I have got to say, I don't like Owen Wilson as a comedian. As an actor, he is top dollar. Literally. Put him in a Bond film. Not as Bond, but for God's sakes, put him in a Bond film. Hell, as a bad guy. He's charming. Well, you could say that for Tom Hiddleston as well. You could put those two in a Bond film as a dynamic duo, for God's sakes, because they play off each other. I know they're playing as Mobius and Loki, but they play off each other, which really works with their characters. And the way they play off with each other is so interesting. It's sort of a love-hate relationship to begin with, and then it's good friends. And yeah, let's talk about... Okay, screw it, they're going to be spoilers. I'm not going to really spoil the last episode, but there are going to be spoilers for somebody who hasn't even gone into this series. Sylvie, the actress who plays Sylvie, hang on.
Dick as a friend.
Shut up.
High five.
Shut up. Sophie DiMartino is a great actress. She works wonders in Loki. She is top notch. And also, there's another character. She is basically the main boss of the TVA. Well, not the main boss, but she is the head of the TVA. And I am so sorry, but I am going to slaughter this name. Gug. Sophie Mabath Raw. Sophie Mabath Raw. I am not trying to say her first name. Good Lord, I implore you, if you want to be classed as non-racist, don't try and say her first name. Oh, Jesus. But, okay, she as... not really a villain, but, well, we don't know her affiliation. She is... this is a strange thing to say. It's a bit like WandaVision in this way. There are no bad guys. Now, that's a strange thing to say, but there are no bad guys in this season. There's nobody I'd point to and go, you're evil. It's more, as the series goes on, you just are like, oh, where are the bad guys in this series? And it's just like, it still works, but it's just like you expect a big bad. And it's just like, what? Oh, and let's talk about the absolute wonderful actor, Alligator Loki. Alligator Loki. Alligator Loki. If you haven't seen the memes, you don't understand. Watch the series if you're a fan of Marvel. If you haven't already watched this series and you're a fan of Marvel, get a Disney Plus subscription, for God's sakes. Alligator Loki is hilarious. I think they knew what they were doing. Well, it's Marvel, of course they knew what they were doing. But I don't know, there is so many things about this series. And also, it's strange. The timeline of when the movies and the TV shows were going to come out before the pandemic has changed because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was supposed to come out before this, I think. So, that's odd. It doesn't spoil anything in the Multiverse of Madness, but it's going to make the Multiverse of Madness a whole lot better. Because it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I pray to every god that somebody's idea was right. Apparently, Tom Hiddleston stopped playing Loki before his birthday. But the crew who was with him when he was playing Loki on his birthday. So basically, the Loki series had finished recording and he was still playing Loki, filming something else. Now, there's two options. Thor, which, yeah, alright. Or Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I hope and pray that it is, because I want to see Doctor Strange, Wanda Maximoff, and Loki fighting like the goddamn... They deserve their own... And also, the other two people... Well, you need 3 more people to sort of create the mystical Avengers, which I would really love to see. So Agatha Harkness, a good Agatha Harkness, I know that's a bit cliche, but Agatha Harkness is really powerful and it would be so awesome. And yeah, get her back. Who else? Don't want Thor. Maybe Sylvie. I don't know. Who would I have in the Mystical Avengers? Mystical Avengers, eh? Mystical Avengers. Wong! For God's sakes, why have I forgotten about Wong? Jesus Christ, Wong needs to be in the Mystical Avengers. God's sakes. So you've got Wong, Doctor Strange, Wanda, Loki, Agatha. That's 5. I thought you need a 6th. Who could be the 6th for the Mystical Avengers? That's an interesting question. It's a very interesting question. You can't have Thor. Thor is not mystical, he's more of a god and it doesn't really work. I honestly don't know. Put in the comments who you'd think would be the best mystical Avenger. If it's from the comics and I don't know about it, I'll look it up. But that team up would be awesome. That would be great. Fighting all these people like Dormammu and things like that. That would be awesome. It's like the mystical version of the Avengers. It's like, oh. Now, let's get back to Loki. The aesthetic of that show is glorious. The filming, the cinematography, the design is... Let's face it, I've got a TVA jacket. Because I like it. I think it's clever. I like the idea of Miss Minutes. You can see her there, Miss Minutes. The whole aesthetic is retro tech. It's retro future tech, and it really, really works. And I really think this show is going to do well. I think there are going to be at least 3 seasons of it. If there are not 3 seasons of it, if it only gets a 2-season run, that's fine. But all I want it to do is finish up its storyline. The problem with WandaVision that everyone hates is it didn't really finish up its storyline. There's a big white cloud, a big white droid that's a big problem. If you don't know WandaVision, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but... Well, I don't think I have spoiled it for you, really, but... I just think that the whole series is so good, and Loki deserved this series because killing him off in Endgame was sort of like killing off Stark and killing off Captain America. It's just like, you didn't kill him off you killed him off in Infinity War. Now, we didn't really care. In the cinema, that was a big moment. Killing off Loki. Oh no, Tom Hiddleston's not going to be in it. Then they introduced the Loki series, and it's like, oh, where the hell's this going? I think they actually told us about the Loki series before Endgame, which was really funny, because it's like, okay, so I'm going to watch Endgame to work out how the Loki series works. Oh, he takes the Tesseract. Ah, right. So that's how the Loki series starts. Okay. It's I love that we are expanding the universe of Marvel to the extent we've got the TVA. The Time Variance Authority, I've never heard of them until now, but they are such a cool idea. They are the anti-Doctor Who. Basically, Doctor Who goes around and saves all the universes, saves all the timelines, and he just does it randomly. TVA's just got like this big-ass building somewhere, and just goes, all the agents just go and prune the problems. It's brilliant. It's just like, yeah, okay, we'll prune that problem. It's just like, it's like what the Time Lords could have been. It's just like Marvel went, yeah, we can do this better than you. There you go. It's so interesting the way they play the TVA. I've never seen them before, but they are such an interesting organisation. It's just like, how do you get in? Well, I'm not going to. Well, how do you become a TVA agent? What do you have to do? What do you have to? I have got to say, this series, if you're a Marvel fan, why the hell are you not? Well, why the hell are you not watching it? It's, if you're a fan of Owen Wilson, watch the show. If you're a fan of Tom Hiddleston, watch the show. If you're a fan of Tara Strong, watch the show. If you're a fan of cool sci-fi, watch the show. If you're a fan of Marvel, you've already watched the show. If you're a fan of Doctor Who but want a more adult Doctor Who, watch the goddamn show, because it really doesn't pull its punches. It's like, oh, and are these guys bad guys? Are they good guys? Oh, it's so interesting. What would I give Loki out of 10? A 9.9. Now, there's a reason why I'm giving it a 9.9, is that the potential for I think the problem with the end episode is it's a big cock tease. It is not the... If you don't know this reference, I'll explain it. It is not the best of both worlds that I was expecting it to be. Now, the best of both worlds is a classic Star Trek The Next Generation episode where basically, thanks to an actor, Patrick Stewart, wondering about his contract at the end of the one season, the best of both worlds was made. So basically, if he decided to not take up his role for the next season, that ship would have been destroyed, and the Borg cube with Picard on it would have gone. But as the show was such a big hit, thanks to the best of both worlds, he stayed, and that was the biggest climax in the world. If you have never seen the best of both worlds, you have got to. But the thing with Loki is that it doesn't have a best of both worlds moment. It thinks it does. I know it thinks it does, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. And it's sort of, why? But the rest of the series, absolutely brilliant. Every single actor in that played the part beautifully. The cinematography, well, the shooting of the show, it's like a film each episode, and it's only like 6 episodes, but it's so good. Is it better than WandaVision? Yes. Do I want a WandaVision season 2 more than I want a Loki season 2? No. Before this, I did. WandaVision is a one-off. They've said it's a one-off, and I am actually glad it's a one-off, because it doesn't really work if you try it again. Loki, you can keep going. Now, I would be doing something a little clever if I was the Loki writers here. People want a WandaVision. Right. Bring Wanda in on this. You have got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, if you bring Wanda in on season 2 of Loki, that would be fascinating. That would be absolutely fascinating, because she is more powerful than Loki, yes. She could become a good sidekick to Loki. Well, not a sidekick, but an antagonist. Because she is trying to fix things that Loki knows can't be fixed. I can just see it. I can just write the season in my mind. Even though I know... The problem is I don't know where they're going with it at the end of the season. I know what they've done. I'm not going to spoil, really. You've probably seen it already. But it doesn't work in the way I think they think it will. Thank you for watching this rather overlong rant. Well, not really rant, but review-ish of Loki. So, the entire season. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.